So I wanted to take a deeper look into some of the weirdest and most interesting versions of Monopoly. So yeah, let's do this. Up first I've got Nintendo Monopoly. Yeah, this was the very first version of Monopoly that I ever played. It mainly represents the late GameCube and early Wii era for Nintendo. It plays very much like the original Monopoly, and I've yet to point out what I find most interesting about this version, and that's that the Kirby renders that they use on the board are based off of Kirby Right Back At You, the anime series. All in all, it's a pretty basic version of Monopoly, but I can't say it's not a good one. I do want to point out the amount of little detail in this game. Like, they really didn't have to create original Mario art for these cards, but I really appreciate that they did. Up next is Spiderman Monopoly. I'm pretty sure this is the newest version of Monopoly that I'm covering in this video. The pieces in this game are really detailed and honestly impressive. The properties on the board are represented by some of the most iconic Spider-Man villains. It's nothing too crazy, but I feel like it does a fairly good job of representing Spider-Man on a Monopoly board. Up next is Disney Villains Monopoly. This version of Monopoly plays very similar to the Spider-Man version. The game is aesthetically very pleasing and features a ton of Disney villains, many of which are not often represented in Disney villain products. Just like the Spider-Man edition, the pieces are extremely detailed. Finally, I've got Monopoly Gamer Edition, Super Mario Bros. Edition. This version does a really good job of representing the modern Mario series. While not being as creative as the original Nintendo Monopoly, there are boss fights in this game which make it a little more interesting than some of the other versions on this list. Also, the game pieces are really unique compared to the other versions. Along with this version of Monopoly, they also sold individual characters that you could also purchase, and I can't lie, I really wish I had, at the bare minimum, the Luigi and the Boo one. Finally, I wanted to give a shout out to some versions of Monopoly that, while I don't own them, look very interesting and I would be interested in playing them in the future, or at least checking them out just to see what they're all about. Some of these are the Cheaters Edition, Millennial Monopoly, Marvel Monopoly, Pokemon Monopoly, and some of the other versions of Mario Monopoly. These all look really interesting, and I would like to see kind of how they play and just check them out a little bit. Alright, so I know this video was a little bit of a short one, but I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you smack that like button, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.